Okay, close the case back up, and then let's see if I can get this thing running. So I fixed the fan issues. Alright, there we go. So yeah, you saw it fired up for the first time, and there it is. So we're in the BIOS right now. We're in MSI Click BIOS 5. This is the first time I've used a BIOS where I can use the mouse. It's pretty cool. So I'll just give you a quick tour of it. This is my first time using a modern, pretty modern motherboard BIOS. Alright, the last one was still, it's still the blue screen with the, you know, you move it around and stuff, and you know, it's old school. Alright, this one is very new school, is what I want to say. Alright, the resolution is not very good. The date is correct, alright, for the most part. So that means the battery's working good. Alright, I don't know what this game boost is or AXMP. I still have to figure out what a lot of this stuff does, guys. Okay. And like I said, I have the manual on my phone. I don't have a paper manual. I wish I had a paper manual. If I can find a paper manual on like eBay or something, I'll buy it. Anyway, here's the CPU speed, 3.7 gigahertz. DDR speed is 2,666 megahertz. Now I'm running a DDR 4,000 megahertz. So I was expecting that to say 4,000 megahertz, but it doesn't. So I don't know. Maybe it increases the clock speed when you need it. I'm not sure. Okay, but I'm not gonna mess around with it. We got to get it running first. Here's the CPU core temperature, 32C. Motherboard temperature, 32C. Here's the motherboard. This is a MAG X570 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. All right, model number MSC484. All right, here's the CPU. It's an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X 6-core processor. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM. The V-core is 1.3 volts. DDR voltage is 1.21 volts. This is the BIOS version, the BIOS date. This was this BIOS date is 9/26/2021. Okay. I don't know what the stuff that the guy who previously owned this before had. All right, so here's some stuff in easy. I guess this is the easy mode, and there's an advanced mode right here. Well, maybe I'll mess around with that later. But so this is the CPU, 3.7 gigahertz. Base clock speed is 100 megahertz. I guess it increases it when it needs more power. All right, when you're running more loads. CPU ratio is 37, so 37 times 100 is 3.7 gigahertz. Okay, that's how you get that number. Core numbers. There's 6 cores on this CPU. My last CPU had 4 cores, by the way. There's the voltage again, 1.3. And then core performance boost, yes. Hyperthreading, yes. Secure virtual machine, yes. Instruction set, MMX, SSE, SSE2. Those are the special instruction sets. All right, here's the RAM, or the memory. It's got 32 gigabytes of RAM, 32.768 gigabytes, or megabytes. The DRAM voltage is 1.21. We're running, oh, it even tells you what kind of RAM it is, G-Skill, all right? G-Skill 16 gigabytes each one. When I started up, it told me to move the RAM, so maybe I might do that. I'm not sure. It said it's not in the ideal spots, all right? And so this is the XMP profile. I don't know what this is, but it says DDR4 4000. That sounds about right. I guess in the RAM's hardware chip. All right, what was it? The firmware. All right, there. Yeah, the chip probably has some kind of firmware on it that tells you like, hey, this is this kind of RAM, and this is the timing that we're gonna run. You know, okay. This is the fan info. So if you remember correctly, I don't have any of the fans hooked up. All right, except for this one, the system fan. All right, number 5 is the system fan apparently. So 1 through 4 are our system fans, and then I guess number 5 is the chipset fan. Okay, maybe, I'm not sure. It says 0 RPM, so it's not running right now. Okay, so like I said, everything is controlled manually by me. All right, the other fans. The only fan that's been controlled by the motherboard is the CPU one. Okay, so here you can toggle between CPU, chipset, and the pump. I don't have a pump. All right. If you're water cooling, then you would probably use that. That's that extra connector that was on the motherboard. You can also do stuff like this. You can increase the speeds and stuff. You can change the profile where the fan ramps up and stuff. Okay, that's pretty slow, man. But yeah, you can see here at when the CPU gets to 70C, it's going to go 100%. All right, and then at 75, it'll be 75% around 65C, and then around 50C. Okay, so when your CPU gets to like 70C ish, it's going to ramp up that it's getting hot, all right, basically. So right now we're about half of that. We're 32C. Okay, and then I think that's pretty much all that I can gather from this. There's some stuff about RAID here, light controls. Oh, the boot priority, I didn't go over that either. And there was another one with the drives. Oh, storage, we skipped one. So this is the drives that are installed. All right, it's in AHCI mode. I'm not doing any kind of RAID or anything, so that's what we're gonna run it in. That's the it monitors the hardware, automatic hardware something is what it stands for. It checks to make sure the health of your hard drives are good. Okay, so SATA port 1, I've got that SSD drive, 500 gigabytes. Yeah, 500 gigabytes. And SATA port 2, I've got the 18 terabyte hard drive. SATA port 3, I've got a 16 terabyte hard drive. SATA port 4, I've got an 8 gigabyte hard drive. Man, I got a lot of freaking I need to get rid of some of these hard drives, man. So HadesOmega needs to buy a bigger hard drive and just get rid of some of these other hard drives. So these 8 terabyte hard drives, they're really easy to find nowadays. You know, there's a Pioneer BDRW. Okay, that's the Blu-ray. There's nothing connected to 6, and then there's a Western Digital SN850X 1 terabyte. Okay, so that is going to be my main drive. If I can get my computer working. Okay, so my system drive is this one, the Samsung. So I need to see if I can get that working properly. It wouldn't start before, so it looks like everything is running good. So I'm gonna play around with it and try to get Windows to work. All right, guys. If not, I'm gonna have to install a new Windows. Hopefully we won't have to resort to that. But so the plan is to see if I can get my Windows 7 running, and when I can get my Windows 7 running, I'm gonna clone it. Make a clone of it. I think I have the software for this drive. For when you get an SSD drive, I'm gonna clone this drive onto this drive. All right, and then we're gonna use the Western Digital drive as our startup drive. All right, our main drive or system drive. Okay, all of these are just these 3 hard drives. Was there only 3? Yeah, these 3 hard drives are storage. That's all it is. They're just storage, my videos and all that stuff, torrents and whatnot. Okay, actually, let's go see what F7 does. It says it puts it in advanced mode. So, oh, this is where you can do the overclocking and stuff, man. Conquer the battlefield. Motherboard settings. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that. Cool. Okay, yeah, this is the stuff I'm more familiar with, guys. This is how like my previous thing was. It's just a bunch of settings, and then there's this and that. It'll tell you what all the stuff does. So, pretty cool. I'm pretty wowed by what the new motherboards can do, is what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Hey, HadesOmega here, and so that ends my PC building vlog. There'll probably be another video after I get this thing running. All right. Like I said, the operating system got like freaking hammered by that bad motherboard. So let's say, all right. I don't even know if it's gonna run anymore, man. But if worse comes to worse, I will install a new operating system, and if I have to do that, I'm just gonna go straight to like Windows 10 or Windows 11 or something. Okay, so that's my plan. But if I can get my old Windows 7 install to start, I will try to upgrade that to Windows 10 or Windows 11. All right, I bought a new motherboard and all this stuff, so I guess it's time to go upgrade my operating system all the way. Okay, so you've been with me, like, hopefully you've been with me all the way. In the beginning, we have to get the parts together, and then take it apart, take the computer apart, I deep cleaned the computer, and we cleaned up all that crud that was in there. There was, man, believe me, there was still stuff in there from the house fire and stuff. And then we had to put it all together, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, all this stuff we had to worry about, like fans and all these wires. HadesOmega has tried to keep the wires as neat as possible, and I think I did. I think I did okay, man. Once those SATA cables start just coming out, it just messes everything up, man. So I want to say, there's still a lot of capabilities that I could still use that haven't been utilized yet, like the USB Type-C port and all that other stuff. I haven't plugged in my USB hard drives yet. I'm waiting to get this thing running first. Okay, so if you've followed me this far, thanks a lot. All right, hey, it posted. All right, and it sees everything. It didn't say anything about the video card. That's one thing I didn't realize. Yeah, it didn't say anything about the video card. So, but obviously the video card works because the screen works, right? So far so good. Everything looks like it runs. It always, it always makes me nervous when you're putting something together for the first time and you press that power button. Is it going to start up or not? And it did. The only issue that we had when I fired it up is the fan started making noises. All right, the main intake fan made noise, and then the main exhaust fan made noise. Yeah, the important fans made noises. So, and I fixed it. Apparently, there was something stuck between the case grill and the fan for the exhaust, and then there was another wire pinched between the grill and the fan for the intake. So. I mean, that's what happens when you take it apart and move stuff around. Stuff like that happens. So, but I knew that stuff was going to drive me nuts if I left it like that. So, okay. The only thing that didn't work that would have been nice is the fan controller. All right, the fan controller doesn't. The fan controller LEDs panel on the front doesn't work. So I don't know. Maybe I flipped some kind of switch or jumper in there that turned it off or something. Hopefully it turns on at some point, but that's okay. But it kind of makes the it makes the temperature probes kind of useless because now you can't tell how hot the case is. All right. Yeah, and then yeah, you can't see the RPM of the fans. Sometimes I like that. HadesOmega likes to nerd out on that kind of stuff. So I want to say, but I do it by ear anyway. So like I know what knob does what. And I know, like, if I turn this up all the way, I listen, oh, yeah, okay, that's at full blast, And then when I don't want it at full blast, I'll just turn it down, I like to control the fans myself, all right? The only one that I don't control is the CPU fan, okay? And I let the motherboard control that one, all right? Potentially, I could add a second CPU fan as well, but you saw the exhaust fan, the Ultra Kaze fan, the really, really powerful fan, is located right behind the radiator, right? The heatsink. So if I need to cool that CPU really fast, all I have to do is crank that fan up, man, and that thing moves a lot of air, as you can see. You can hear. That's what's it. Okay, so if you followed me this far, thanks a lot. I hope it was entertaining and educational. It was educational for me. I haven't built a modern computer in a long time. Honestly, I wish I had bought a new case because this case is like it's kind of beat up, man. But if it still works fine, that's fine with me, man. And I know this case very well. I know what fans to buy to put in it and all that stuff. I can keep this case going for a long, long time. Okay, and there's really no place, there's no reason to replace the case. All right, other than like maybe something. I do notice the newer cases have like the CPU, I mean the power supply on the bottom. That's another, and speaking of the power supply, that's another thing I wish I'd upgraded or replaced, was the power supply. Like I said, I had ordered one on Mercari and it got lost in the mail, and I just said, F it, man, I'm not gonna install it. So I just used the original one. So okay, so that's the end of the vlog for now. When I get it, if I do get it running, or when I do get it running, I'll give you guys a tour of the thing, just to show you it works. Okay, but I pretty much showed you all the stats and all that good stuff. All right. This computer is probably a generation or two older than what's the best right now, okay? That's just the way computers are, man. When you buy something today, it's already outdated tomorrow, all right? So don't feel bad, all right? All I can say is, hey, that AMD Phenom CPU setup and motherboard setup lasted me almost 2 decades. I'm hoping this one to last at least a decade, all right? I don't really play games, but I guess I can play games now. I got a modern motherboard and I got a pretty good graphics card. So yeah, if I do want to play games, I could. All right, and I'm excited to see what that new SSD can do. Yeah, it just my mind is like blown by like how fast some of these technologies have gotten. We're at USB 3.2 now. We can move 10 gigabytes a second through a USB port. That's incredible, man. Because when USB 1 came out, it wasn't like that. Okay, well, I don't even have USB 1 anymore, man. It's USB 2 and up now, right? And then that SSD drive that I bought can do more than 7 gigabytes a second. Incredible, man. I'm telling you, I cannot wait to start editing videos and moving files and stuff on this. It's gonna be mind blown. All right, I was moving stuff at like a couple hundred megabytes a second. Well, man, we're moving stuff at gigabytes now. It's insane. All right. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. HadesOmega out. Alright, hey, HadesOmega here. So, I can't get this computer running. Okay? This computer will not run with freaking Windows 7, man.